So I filed a complaint with the FCC about the fact that Sprint has been capping my data. The FCC asked Sprint to contact me to try to resolve things, and I'm going to play the call for you now. Sprint claims it slows the internet, but in reality, it just becomes completely unusable. I'm going to show you some videos that show just how bad the internet connection is once I reach the 50 gig limit.
Calling Sprint's Executive and Regulatory Services. If you know your analyst's 4-digit extension, please enter it now. Otherwise, please stay on the line for assistance. Let me get someone to help you. By the way, your call may be monitored or recorded. This is Sharon.
Hi, Sharon. This is Greg Mantell. I'm returning your call about case number...
Okay, and so your complaint, if I understand it correctly, you're talking about how we sometimes slow down the data speed after you go over 50 gigabytes.
Right, yeah, and the problem is you don't really slow it, you just simply cut it off. And so I'm not saying slow would be acceptable, but it would be better than not having any internet, which your store has verified for me. For instance, when I went into the local Sprint store, they said slow data is no data. And I've shot many videos at home of what happens, how the internet just cuts off and there is no internet, and then magically on renewal date, everything's back to normal. So you're not really slowing it. You're simply, it's unusable, as the FTC said in the case against AT&T. It's difficult or impossible to use the internet once you reach the data limit.
Okay, because, I'm not sure if it might be some other sort of issue, because it shouldn't cause you not to have it at all.
Yeah, and it's funny though, it happens every month when I reach the data limit, and then when I reset, everything's magically fine, but yet you just can't figure out what the connection is. Isn't that interesting?
What the connection is, what do you mean? I'm sorry.
Then all of a sudden the internet stops when I reach the data limit, but then it goes back to normal, but you think there's another issue. Can you explain what this other issue might be?
I'm just saying, like, I pulled up reports in your area, our reports as far as network goes, and we've been having a lot of maintenance and upgrade in your local area.
And that would be true for the past year?
I mean, it could be. I only have records for the last 3 months.
And it's interesting. It's only when I reach the billing cycle or the data limit. It's interesting that you never have problems in the area before I reach the data limit. Isn't that interesting how that works?
No, I mean, it's still happening. Not all customers are impacted, though.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying I pulled the reports to see if there was anything going on that might cause it to be worse than normal. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that this is because of that. I'm just saying it could be.
Right. So in other words, Sprint isn't just blatantly lying about the fact that it's capping the data when it reaches the limit, right? That's what you're saying? You're not lying?
No, I'm not saying that. We do slow down the data after 50 gigabytes. That's in our terms and conditions during congestion periods.
Okay, now, but does slow mean that you make it impossible to use? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Really? Then how come I can't use it once it reaches the data limit?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Other options it might be. We don't make it stop completely.
Well, it's funny. When I went into the local Sprint store last time this happened to find out if there was another issue, the guy at the counter looked at me and said, "Slow data means no data." So can you explain that to me? Why your Sprint employee said that?
I can't explain what somebody else says.
Really? So I guess the question is, what are you going to do about it? I have this complaint. I'm about to take other steps, but I wanted to file this complaint first. I filed one with the California Public Utilities Commission and the FTC. But I'm going to start putting videos on YouTube every time I try to use the internet. And I'm going to say, here is Sprint's data quality for their mobile hotspot, just for a public awareness campaign. I'm going to be posting all these videos on YouTube. So I want people to see how bad your data is if they sign up for Sprint. So can you tell me what you're going to do to fix the data problem that happens every month when I reach?
What do you want to be done? I mean, I can't change it. This is something that we do.
And you can't change it. Okay. Well, just so you know, I'm also going to go to small claims court. I'm about to serve you with small claims court. I'm going to ask the judge for an injunction to prevent you from slowing the data. And if you do, then in addition to the monetary damages I'm going to sue you for in small claims court, I'm going to ask the court to find you guilty of contempt of court for violating the injunction to not slow my data. So I'm about to take you to court.
The terms and conditions of service. So this is something we're
Yes,
allowed
but
to
you
do.
see, it has to be usable. It doesn't say you can cut it off. AT&T got sued $60 million by the FTC. Um, so how do you propose that you're going to stop lying about slowing the data, that you're actually just
I'm not
capping it?
lying.
Yes, the government has said there is a difference between capping the data and slowing the data, and you're not slowing the data, you're capping the data. I
But
will
like
show
I said,
the...
the maintenance issues could be because of the problems that you're experiencing
Really?
recently.
So again, so it's only... You think the judge is going to believe that when I show the judge the videos of my normal internet
I
connection?
don't speak on legal matters. I'm not a legal person. If you feel like you have to do this, then certainly you're right. I'm just explaining to you that we are able to do this to slow it down.
Okay.
And,
Thank
for
you.
some
And
reason
just so
you're
you know, I've been recording this call, and I'm also going to place this call on YouTube, and I'm also going to play this call for the judge, just so you know. So,
Well, we don't okay that you record our calls.
you say at the start of your call that you're
Okay?
recording me, so I'm recording you.
For quality and training purposes only.
Sorry,
Okay,
you
I'll
notified
leave
me.
it
You're recording the call. I'm recording the call. This call is going
Okay, well,
online,
I'm
and it's
ending the call now. Thank
okay.
you.